How's it going, my truant people? DrSlaking, the Slacking Doctor, back with week 3 of the UBL Season 4, as your Bowland Bovines go up against Kreselle and her Adelaide Honchkrows, I believe. And I'm going to try and include a very quick team builder, team preview type thing at the beginning of this. I'm going to try and make this as fast as possible. Currently, Kreselle is running a little bit late, I'm not sure why, so I thought, hey, while I'm waiting and all set up and stuff, may as well try and record a quick team breakdown so you guys know what's going on in the battle a bit better than last time. Last week, I realised when I watched the video back, there were tons of things I didn't explain. Just a quick example of one. Lead Frostlass, why I felt comfortable setting up spikes when he had a Hatterene in the back with magic mounts, because I'd said in the team builder section, hey, no one really goes hard Hatterene on a Frostlass predicting spikes because you could just get Shadow Balled if I want to scare that thing out, so which is actually what ended up happening in the game, but I didn't explain that kind of interaction of why Frostlass was such a good spiker against this team given his magic bounce mon, couldn't switch in on Frostlass. Didn't explain that in the game because I explained it in the team builder, didn't add the team builder, so then it didn't make sense in the game. You get the idea. Anyway, so hopefully now if I show you the sets, what I do in the battle will make more sense to you. That was a very rambling way. Also, I know I'm a little bit overdressed for this. I had a job interview today. I did say that yesterday in the video that I had a job interview the next day. I am battling Kreselle the day after I battle at OPJellicent because I'm having to bulk get these done before I go on holiday. So huge thank you to my opponent today for playing a week early against me, and to AutoMatthic for being very flexible. I also mentioned that the week 1 game I was hoping maybe we might get a forfeit win given the situation. It doesn't look as though that's happening. It looks like we will be battling whoever Poijz, I think Poijz, I think that was his name. Whoever his replacement is, in like week 5 or something, you might get a double upload week with my week 1 battle, if I can even do it with potentially starting a new job and everything else. But anyway, we have an Intimidate, physically defensive, sort of specially offensive Arcanine here. You can see the stat distribution of stuff. Flamethrower, Will-O-Wisp, Raw, Morning Sun. The reason that this is special rather than physical specifically is because Corviknight with Mirror Armor would be really annoying if I wanted to run Intimidate, and I really did want to run Intimidate for things like Kreselle's Hawlucha, specifically, as well as her Bugman that does the bug things, Centiskorch. Yes, Flash Fire would also be useful for Centiskorch, but you know, Fire Lash isn't going to be doing a lot to me anyway. And then Intimidate's more versatile for things like the Hawlucha later on. Yes, I cannot touch a TOXICROAK'S at all, even slightly. But who cares about TOXICROAK'S? I can Will-O-Wisp it, which is really nice, just to cancel out like Black Sludge and things like that. People, I think, underappreciate how nice getting a Pex Burnt can be, just for those damage rolls, etc. But also I can Will-O-Wisp something like the Corviknight to make it much less useful offensively, especially if it's like a bulk up variant. I can still Flamethrower through a bulk up variant. This does 2-shot, I believe, even specially defensive Corviknight with the investment that we have. I cannot touch a Flash Fire Centiskorch. Walls me. Hard walls me, but I can roar it out. Morning Sun for longevity. This is definitely not the best set you've ever seen. Did I say gentle nature? It's a timid nature. Why does it say gentle by nature? That's very weird. If anybody knows why it says that, please explain, because that is a timid nature. Minus attack, plus speed, timid. Very odd. Very odd that. Anyway. Huge thank you to AutoMatthic for joining my team as well, I should say that. Next up we have Rewt with the Kreselle. Also the Rocky Helmet, just so I can wear something like the Centiskorch down on switching every time and all that good shit. As well as like potentially get chip off on the Hawlucha, just random stuff. Then we have Kreselle Papa here. I still need an Arcanine nickname. I said it at the end of the last episode, end of the last battle, but I forgot to say at the beginning. I need an Arcanine nickname, so give me one down below. Yes. Papa, the Rewt here, BFO Papa, shout out to Strumpful. This thing can come in and basically just sponge a hit from Hawlucha, potentially if we're at full health, and Psychic it. It can also come in on the Indeedee pretty well, tank hits, and Focus Blast it. The Kreselle is to take a Shadow Ball from said Indeedee. I also have run quite a lot of special attack, quite a lot of bulk, and a little bit of speed, if I remember right, to speed creep maybe like a Rhyperior or something. There was something pretty like similar speed tier that I was speed creeping down low. Anyway, Regenerator so I can pivot in and out and just sponge hits and keep my health as high as possible for the Hawlucha in the end game. Psychic, with the investment we had, should take out the Hawlucha. I think Psychic Seed boosts defense, which is why I went Psychic over Psy Shock, because otherwise Psy Shock would have been better for the Centiskorch. But I don't remember. I think we do take a Leech Life from Centiskorch from full, but there's not really any point because he's going to recover back, like, back to full, and then I'll do like 60% of my Psychic, 40% of my Psychic, depending on his investment, and that's worthless. So, Thunder Wave is on here, slow down the DVD and recover for longevity. Then we have our main win con in a Air Balloon, Sand Rush, Drill this week, not rocking the Mold Breaker this time, Earthquake, Ironhead, Rock Slide, Swords Dance. If we can, see this thing says Calm, but again, it's definitely Adamant. Very weird, I don't know why the natures are off. It's really confusing me. Reason I've got this thing on an Air Balloon is because Crest does have a Ditto, and I don't want to get reverse swept by Scarf Ditto, so Ditto isn't an immediate revenge killer. If this thing just comes in, takes KO, Ditto can't immediately come in and revenge kill me, right? And if it wants to, then it has to go for Rock Slide or Ironhead, and then I can Earthquake it. So it basically just means that she doesn't have an immediate, really strong revenge killer in my own Excadrill that's very good against my team. Obviously, this thing can get its thing broken at some point, the balloon broken. And it's also good for Rhyperior, that if it's just running Edgequake, which is pretty strong against my team, we'll be able to take that on. So, that's pretty nice. Next up, we have Storm, the Whimsicott. This thing is more of a defensive pivot, I guess, but really crucially, we have the Cobra Berry on here. Plus Encore, because whilst priority is stopped by Psychic Terrain, Hawlucha's flying type. So, Hawlucha isn't immune to priority. It's not about the user, it's about the Mon receiving the status or the priority move. So a good example would be like Mega Latios back in Gen 7 OU could get Sucker Punished by something that was grounded even though Psychic Terrain was up because Mega Latios was off the ground. So Giga Drain, Moonblast, Leech Seed, Encore. The reason that I have Cobra Berry Encore is because I can basically pivot him. If my opponent goes for an Acrobatics, I'll take one and I can Encore it into Acrobatics. If they go for a Swords Dance, I can Encore them into Swords Dance. And if they go for a Close Combat, I can Encore them into Close Combat. In any of those scenarios, I then have a Pokemon that can beat Hawlucha. Hawlucha's main problem against me, or the biggest issue with Hawlucha, would be if it was able to change up its moves. I can handle it if it's locked into one move, but if it can change up its moves, I can't deal with it. And I have lots of things that can destroy it offensively. So yeah, this way I can just basically keep it locked into one of its stabs and break it down that way. If my opponent makes a hell of a read and just clicks Poison Jab on the switch in, then fair play to them, but I think that would be pretty redundant with a Reuniclus around, which looks like the Telegraph switch in, and even an Arcanine with Intimidate, so I don't think you automatically assume someone's going to go hard Whimsicott. They could go for the flying move, but that's why we have the Cobra Berry. Alternatively, I could just sack something to the Hawlucha, force it to then click a move, come back in and Encore it as a revenge killer kind of thing. This is Modest, but this one's actually Timid. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, other than that, like, Giga Drain's just pretty decent for the Rhyperior. I don't Oko it with Energy Ball anyway, so Giga Drain just seems more worthwhile. And Moonblast, Rhyperior is so bulky. And Moonblast for, I don't remember what, but there was something, oh, the Hawlucha, obviously. Then we have Jigglyth. I can Explode, I have the Smooth Rock, so potentially I can just pivot in at some point if I think the end game is in sight, click Boom, and then get in my Excadrill on its balloon to potentially Swords Dance on something like the Rhyperior, say, which might try and switch in on Gigalith, given that, you know, it resists its main stab in Rock. And then, yeah, so I could potentially just set up Rocks, Rhyperior comes in, go Boom, get in Drill on a balloon, click Swords Dance, go for game from there, if I think I'm in a position to do so. Obviously, I have to be very careful of the Ditto, but I have something for that too. Other than that, Earthquake plus Rock Tomb just hits everything. Running Rock Tomb because it's still Oko Thunder Scorch, and I don't want to miss Stone Edge, and I can just slowing things down like the Indeedee, for example, is really useful for revenge killing a bunch of things on a team. So it just seems to make the most sense. Then last up, the one that I also have for Ditto revenge killing my Excadrill if my balloon gets popped, is Air Balloon Toxicroak. Again, this thing can come in on Toxapex all day long, can come in on a potential Scarf Excadrill trying to reverse sweep me with Earthquake, and can then basically take the Dry Skin, take the Skulls from the Toxapex, also resist the Poison Stab, obviously. Can set up, can Drain Punch, can Gunk Shot, and can Thunder Punch. Plus 2 Thunder Punch will help us break through Corviknight, which otherwise could be a pretty decent switch in. I may change this to Low Kick before the battle starts, if that's a possibility. I don't even know. I need to like calc the difference between running Low Kick and Drain Punch to hitting a Rhyperior, and also an Excadrill, and then even see how you get Low Kick on this Mon, because if it's like a move relearner, then I might do that. If it's like a breeding thing, then I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. I don't have, you know, the time or whatever. But yeah, if I have time before Crest comes online, I might just run the quick calcs with this thing and see what I can do. So this is Relaxed by nature, but this thing's an Adamant. and adamant. I've been pretty aggressive with a few of my speed creeps in this game because I just felt like I could be, so yeah, that's that. Regardless, I'll be back in just a second with the battle. And we're back, guys, and we are on Showdown, as you can see. Basically, last night, unfortunately, Kreselle was really ill, so we couldn't play last night. In the end, after I recorded that little team builder that you saw, I'm going to leave that in, screw it. I don't need to, I suppose. Now we're on Showdown, I can show you the sets more easily, but regardless. So anyway, we're now having to play on Showdown because I'm going away like today, so yeah, this was all we could do. Basically, Kreselle was going to play me this morning, but unfortunately her save file has been like corrupted or something. She basically just can't access her save file. Chess timer, level 50 GoldoaDragon, no Dynamax yet. She can't access her save file, so it's put her in a really tough position, and I basically said, well look, once I'm away, I won't be able to record on the Wi-Fi or the Switch or anything anyway. I'm just doing this before I challenge, so I don't want the time to start ticking. So we might as well just do it on Showdown now and get it done, because I'm going to have to play on Showdown anyway, and I'd rather not do it when I'm already on holiday and like we'll have unload more scheduling issues because my time zone's going to change when I'm on holiday, and she's in Australia, so it's already kind of difficult. So I just figured, hey, let's just get it done now. So anyway, the one thing that is good between this and the team builder is I did change low kick or drain punch to low kick on the TOXICROAK, so just keep you updated on that one. It was better in the end, I decided, so we have changed that up. Right. Going to shoot her at the challenge now. Kind of nervous, it's kind of weird. So yeah, I apologise that week 1 we didn't have a battle. As far as I'm aware, I'm still expected to schedule with the new person, so anyway, let's get into this. So yeah, we didn't have battle week 1, and then a bit of a mess week 2, so I can't even remember anything. Like today's bit, obviously I'm getting ready to go away, so I just haven't like, my brain has been everywhere but on this game today. There's a Grimmsnarl. There's a Ditto. What did I prep for Grimmsnarl? Did I even prep for that thing? Did I prep for anything? Indeedy. I'm assuming you guys can see the chat. Oh no, I'm assuming you guys can see that. Stop timer for 1 sec, just so we can talk. And restart after leads. Oh, okay. Oh shit, we're gonna run out of time. Leads, I haven't even thought about it. Christ. I just auto did leads. I didn't even get time to pick anything. Okay. Never mind. All right. That's rough. I feel bad. But what can I do? Nothing really. I didn't want to stand up this early. I didn't want to stand up this early. This would not have been my lead of choice. Christ above. This should just be a U-turn, I would expect. Predicting the Arcanine to come in. I'm just gonna rocks. Like I'll take. Okay, no. Maybe doesn't have U-turn. This isn't a team prep for me. We chew that up anyway, so it's fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. I wanted rocks up. I've got rocks up. I don't know if Center Scorch has got. So I can't. I have no idea. I can't make assumptions based on my opponent prepping for me because they thought I was a different opponent to who I was. Very understandable given the situation with me going away and us having to play early. There's the U-turn. I thought it would come sooner. Yeah, understandable with the situation, me going away and us having to play a week early. I feel really sorry for Kreselle. This has just been one thing after another for her between me. Okay, so it's leftovers. That's interesting. Between me, substitute. Ooh, that's not good. Do we think Psychic breaks a sub? That's not good. Between me going away, us playing early, all that good stuff. I understand it's put a lot of pressure on her. DD level 50. How much time have I got? Jesus, that early timer like ticking down on me like that has got me shook up. So Psychic in terrain is showing that it will still break sub. as we chew that with our Kreselle, and we're able to break this up with our Psychic. Good. Could try and stall out there. I really want a Thunder Wave, like, on the substitute, but that's super loose. Could Shadow Ball again, which would give me... Could go straight into Drill, but then I pop my Balloon, which is so useful when there's no Rhyperior to just stop Ditto reverse sweeping me. I think I'm just going to Focus Blast. Alright, well, that's a pretty good... Damn it, that's not a pretty good catch. Yeah, okay, it would have been nice to have maybe T-Waved this thing or something, but it's not to be, and that's fine. Whimsicott I super need around for the Lucha in this game, otherwise Lucha is going to sweep me. I'm going to go Arcanine here. I don't think I'm going to need Arcanine as much with Rocks Up, the Corviknight. I tried to Sucker Punch in Terrain, she obviously forgot about Terrain. Not that it mattered anyway, because I wasn't in, but... I'm just going to Wisp here, burn this thing. Oh my god, why does that still do so much? I can't even heal that off, can I? If I heal... How much do I heal in Sand? To use result half its maximum HP, 1/4, so I'll get 25% back. I'll go to 55. Yeah, I can sort that out. Yeah, she goes for Sucker Punch anyway. Good. And now I can get back to full. She's I can't believe Stomping Tantrum did 4. Oh, because it failed with the Sucker Punch. That's why Stomping Tantrum did so much through the burn. So it's going to do a lot this turn as well. That's a pretty cool tech, actually, to be able to just, essentially... this thing's in range of... Rocks plus burn, so I'm just going to Morning Sun again. If she Sucker Punches, then we won't take too much, and I can Roar the next turn. So we can basically play around these shenanigans. No, I'll probably just Flamethrower next turn if she Sucker Punches this turn, because a burnt Sucker Punch would do a lot less than a Stomping Tantrum would do. So yeah, you can see the difference. Alright, there we go, and we get the Rocky Helmet chip anyway, so we managed to handle that big threat. This thing comes out... How much do I just want damage on this and just want to go for a Flamethrower? I don't have my Kreselle anymore, so the next one is going to do a lot. I could just Flamethrower here. This thing's still really useful for Corviknight, so that just feels loose. I don't think I can make that play. This thing's still so useful for Corviknight. I don't think she'll sub down. So I'm just gonna Focus Blast, and it might even be able to kill from this range. Like we're Reuniclus. Okay, I wish I'd T-Waved. That's super bad. That's super bad. So this Shadow Ball will kill. I'm pretty much just sacking here. So that Focus Blast did 34. It wouldn't have killed. It wouldn't have killed anyway. I should have T-Waved. T-Wave was the right play. I mean, I could have calced, but I didn't. How much can Drill? How much do I need Sand? You know, I really don't need Sand that much. I really don't need Sand that much. So maybe I can sack Gigalith here, bring in Drill, and get things popping. That seems really useful. Drill still resists the Flying Stab if I lock it into Flying Stab on the Lucha. Alright, let's do that. Let's do that. That still seems really, really useful as Gigalith yums that up. Absolutely yums that. Gets a Spadef drop. See, I could go back into Reuniclus now on like the Psychic and try and play some shenanigans like that, but I don't want to. She could try and sub down, which would be really bad for me. So I think I'm just going to Explode. Yeah, as we get taken out by the Psychic. That's fine. What I'm looking at is I'm thinking, alright, I outspeed most of the team outside of Sand anyway, apart from this thing, which is pretty much going to die here. Because, like, you know, it's going to come in on Rocks. It can't really set up again. I am confident of dealing with this thing now. I do want to Iron Head so I can at least chip the Corviknight. It does feel a little bit free into Corviknight. I maybe should have gone into something else to revenge kill. No, I couldn't overly go into anything else to revenge kill the Indeedee. We forced the Indeedee out, and that's a really important thing. So I could just Swords Dance Rock Slide here. This thing probably has Body Press. It's not worth it. I'm going to go into Arcanine. I say it probably has body press. It wasn't prepped for me, so it might not have body press. But this is still a really good position for me, where Flamethrower, I'm guessing this thing could be White Smoke, or Flame Body rather than Flash Fire, which is really useful. So we can just pressure this now. Unfortunately, Sand is up for a long time, but we can pressure this with Flamethrower. If she wants to U-turn, hopefully she just sacks the Indeedee. If she just sacks the Indeedee, then that puts us in a pretty good spot. I don't want to make any aggressive doubles or anything like that. There's really no need at this stage in the game. Reuniclus has 2 Focus Blasts left, which is pretty solid for us. How do we win this game? Right, please. Alright, it's not Boost, so that's something. It is Flash Fire. It is Flash Fire, but it's not Boost. So that means that this kills it. Which is pretty huge. So we get this thing back out. Now, I don't know who's faster here. But I know that I still want this for the Corviknight. So I'm going to go straight into Reuniclus, not even going to think about it. And then I'm going to Psychic into Rain. I don't know if that would have killed at the +1 boost, but if I had lost Reuniclus, I'd have lost Reuniclus there. Well, actually, that would have been pretty bad, but she still wants to keep her terrain. I guess I should be predicting more aggressively on her preserving her terrain. It makes a lot of sense. It can take 1 more rock switching, but it can only take 1 more rock switching, which is pretty important. So if I can roar it out at any point, that's amazing. And this thing's getting super chipped down. Sand's up, so I can recover on most things. Center Scorch comes in, dies to rocks. Is that her cue to go Hawlucha? She's got 1 turn of terrain left. If she's ever going to go Hawlucha, it's now. If she goes Hawlucha after that, like, Drill doesn't even do that much. Now that the Center Scorch has gone down, I guess, actually looking at it like Drill, I mean, it still outspeeds and can muscle through, why does this thing come out? Really intrigued by that switch. I'm going to Morning Sun and try and recover. We don't net much off that. We netted a little bit off that. Indeed, he comes back out, so I'm guessing he's going to try and set terrain. How much do I need my Arcanine? I don't think I do. Can I get reverse swept by my own Toxicroak? No. I think I'm just going to Flamethrower. We do get outsped. I don't think I needed that, so I think that's completely fine with me. Moonblast should kill. Moonblast should kill. Then the Hawlucha will come out. It will have to Brave Bird / Acrobatics into me to kill me. Unless it's rocking like Poison Jab. But at this point, Reuniclus is so healthy that the only way it can break through Reuniclus is with Swords Dance. So it does get a Spadef boost. I still got a Fizdef boost, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to Moonblast here. If she Swords Dances, I can Encore the next turn because this thing is off the ground, so it isn't immune to my Prankster. So I can Encore it next turn if she Swords Dances, which would be the only play I could think that could win her the game. As she actually just goes for the Acrobatics. I'm just going to Encore her into... Encore it into Acrobatics, then go into Excadrill. Yeah, because this thing's dead to rocks. Not quite. Man, I wish I had Rocky Helmet. I'm going to do it anyway. Like, I think that's still my optimal play. Going to Drill, which won't take too much. I still have my Balloon intact on my Toxicroak, which is why this is okay. And I'm just going to Iron Head here. She has to attack if she wants to pop my Balloon. So if she goes into Ditto, for example, straight into Ditto here, I'm on a Balloon, and then, like, that's not a good spot, right? All she can do is, like, Iron Head me, and that's not good. So, yeah, exactly. So this way we can Iron Head through. So the techs all worked out, like, the team worked out really well, but obviously, like, there's an element of the fact that this isn't the team she prepped for me, and, like, you know, I'm not going to be like, wow, this team worked perfectly. Look how good of a build this was, because, you know, we were playing a team that wasn't built for us, so there's no sense in. I could have gone hard our TOXICROAK there, but if for some reason, like, she's not Scarf and I need to try and win, like, a speed tie or whatever, then might as well do that. But I'm just going to low kick here. And the balloons, the double balloon tech, coming in clutch, forcing this endgame that I really wanted to force around the Ditto and the Hawlucha. She says, I like that tech. Thank you. GG. Sorry about all the problems. Well played. Yeah. She says, it wasn't too bad for the wrong team. Your draft is scary. Here we go. So we do pull out the 2-0 dub. Honestly, thank you so much to Kreselle for just being, like, super flexible about all of this. Like she says, giving us a really good game on the team she didn't even build for us. And just, yeah, putting on a ton of pressure in this game. It was really well played. Super enjoyable. I'm glad the team worked out. Most of the techs looked as though they would have worked for most of the things I prepped for. Like, this is pretty much the 6 I was expecting, barring, like, maybe Rhyperior for Grimmsnarl. Other than that, like, I fully expected, like, maybe Boots Centiskorch. That would have been very different. But then it also might have been White Smoke to try and prevent the Intimidate from Arcanine. So, swings and roundabouts. Either way, I'm going to go now and upload this to the website. Next week, we are taking on Frosted. We should be back on Wi-Fi. She uploads a lot of Wi-Fi content, so there shouldn't be any issues there. Been feeling like making some trades to my team, so who knows, we might have trades then, because the end of week 4 is the trade deadline, so I might make trades before then, but who knows. Regardless, GG again to Kreselle. Thank you to her for being so cooperative. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for loafing around with me, and I'll catch you again next time.